Thank you for that intro stage demo, Robot. I am here now with Matt Hickman from Sega, and we are talking about Aliens Infestation. Matt, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Dude, we're happy to have you because you brought Aliens.
That's right.
Aliens, a beloved franchise, awesome movies, some great games in the past, storied video game history for the franchise. Now we're onto the DS. We got Infestation. Give us the overview. Tell us what's the deal.
So it's way forward technology. So, you know, they're known for pixel art, great classic gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
So what we did with this one is kind of make it more of an open, unlockable game so we could tell a really deep story, starting where Aliens left off and going to kind of untrodden territory.
So like a new narrative for the series, new exploration?
Brand new. Yeah, you start off going to the Sulaco right after the events of Aliens, and you know, after Ripley and all them have all left the ship, but there's still a life form left on. So you go in as Colonial Marines to go explore the Sulaco and find out what happened to the ship, where did everybody go.
Okay, now we're looking at the screen here, and as you can, I'm noticing there are 4 character portraits, which kind of indicates to me you've got a squad that you're working with here.
Right, so you start out with just these 4 Colonial Marines that you see, and then as you go, you'll find Marines scattered throughout lots of environments, lots of worlds, and you'll pick them up and add them to your party, and you'll actually be able to choose from 19 Marines in total, and they all have unique personalities, a unique look.
And a unique pose they strike when you
That's
are
right.
bantering.
Yeah, actually, it's a good time to mention that each one of those portrait arts is from, he's usually a Marvel artist, but Chris Bacalo did all the portrait art for us, so it's this really nice way to do our cutscenes.
And for those who aren't familiar with Chris's work, can you give us some context for him?
He's done, most recently, he did an X-Men run.
All right, very cool. All right, so here we are. Now, are you just controlling one of these guys at a time?
Right, you control one Marine at a time, and you can switch in and out. And then, as you saw just a minute ago in one of those save rooms, you can reload your weapons, switch Marines, and things like that. But yeah, you're only controlling one Marine at a time.
But so what's the incentive to switch between Marines? You know, why don't I just rock Cameron the whole time?
So aside from just health and things like that, like, oh god, this guy's hurt and I'm going to switch to a new guy.
Oh, okay, so you can, if he's hurting, you go put him back in base, take out someone who's got fresher legs.
Right,
okay.
Or if he gets, you know, face hugged or something like that.
Oh, doctor.
Oh boy, there's no coming back from that. Yeah, you also, you know, they have each Marine reacts to what's going on differently. Mm-hmm. So you have completely different dialogue, different story reactions, responses, and things like that. So it makes the story a little more robust.
Okay.
And Aliens, you know, everybody loves Aliens for the characters. They're so different. They're such huge personalities. So we've kind of replicated and then multiplied that.
All right. Now, are there any different sort of loadouts or arsenals or abilities at play between the different characters?
So all the characters have the same like base abilities because it's, you know, in a classic Metroidvania type game, different weapons and abilities are needed to unlock the next path, so they all have to behave basically the same.
Right.
But you will be able to get classic Aliens weapons. You have the flamethrower and grenade launchers, and of course the pulse rifle, and you know, all kinds of good stuff. Flares.
Mechs, exosuits.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the power loader is in there.
Excellent.
You get to drive the APC in a mission.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, it's every bit of thing any Aliens fan would love. We have all of it and more.
That's pretty ambitious.
It's not hyperbole. It's all in there. As an Aliens fanatic.
You heard it, man. Matt Hickman. It's all in there.
All of it.
In Aliens Infestation.
Put that on the box.
All right, so here we are. We're into some, you know, we're clearly getting into some infested territory. We're catching glimpses of alien structures just up there. What's going on in this mission here? What are we doing?
So he just arrived. This is at the very beginning of the game, and he's moving around in the Sulaco. Right now, he just discovered the map of the Sulaco. So you'll be able to view the map here. You can move around and look at it, and it's, you know, just a cutaway of the Sulaco. And you'll be able to drop flares to mark waypoints, see objectives, things like that. Actually, right there to the left, you see one of the other kind of cool locking key mechanisms. That door on the left is welded shut, so you can't get through there. You'll have to get a welder, a la, you know, like Rodriguez in Aliens. Find the welder. You'll be able to lock doors behind you, cut through them if you need to.
Oh, okay.
So it's, you know, a lot of cool stuff like that. You just threw down a flare to mark it on the map and say like, okay, when I get the welder, I'm gonna have to come back here. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of really fun exploration. And as you go, there'll be all kinds of surprise moments. Obviously, you're not gonna just see xenomorphs.
And it's not gonna be just cats jumping out of vents at you.
Just that one time, I promise.
So it's
Oh,
Yeah,
there's
this is not a xenomorph.
No, that is like a Weyland-Yutani sentry robot. So that's kind of the first story. What's Weyland-Yutani doing here? Why are they on the Sulaco when everybody's dead? So that's one of the first things that piques your interest, is trying to find out what they're even doing there.
So you've got these basically these androids, these Weyland-Yutani troops. You've got face huggers, you're saying? You got xenomorphs.
Yeah.
Any other enemy types you want to let us know about? Or
you also have mercenaries, Weyland-Yutani mercenaries.
Yes.
And then new xenotypes.
Scum.
New
Sorry.
xenomorph types.
New xenomorph types?
And I know there's people going, oh God, no! Why are you messing with
No,
cannon?
my cannon!
But the cannon! But it's faithful. It makes sense. It's tasteful.
All right. Well, I mean, can you tell us a little bit about a new xenomorph type? Can you give us something to go on here?
Well, we use some of the different Alien movie classes, so it's not just either the bipedal or the quadruped from the movies. There's also like kind of a worker guy that's kind of a pushover, but behind the scenes, maybe he moves eggs, maybe he, I don't know, makes coffee. I don't know. He's a worker.
Yes.
And then there's soldiers.
He's the guy who just walks around barfing all that gross alien crap onto the wall.
Right, exactly. How do these things get made? There's him in the corner just puking up resin. But yeah, that's him. So you'll kill him because
come on, man, that's gross.
Did you have to put it in the infirmary? It's everywhere. But yeah, oh, there you go. There's the welder. Man, he's cooking through this. Yeah, he usually gets lost.
He's got consulting the map, and I think that little berating you gave him before we came out here is definitely.
You gotta
nice
keep
motivation.
the worker Xenos in line. If they're not getting lost, they're spitting resin.
All right, so this may be wishful thinking here, but I see multiple squad members, and I think multiple DSs, other players.
No.
Okay, too wishful.
Too wishful.
Yes.
It's okay.
You got to dream, right?
You do. You got to dream big. But instead of that, big story.
Big story.
It was either small story, 4 people, gigantic story, 1 person.
Okay. So we've got big story, and we're on the Sulaco. You're saying here. Are there other environments that we're gonna get to visit?
Yeah, you'll go down to LV-426, where the space jockey ship, the derelict in Alien 1. That's down there. You'll cruise around in there and maybe see something new. Hint, hint.
So subtle, man.
So, I know. I just drop these hints, and maybe someone will pick them up someday.
Yeah, I don't know. They'll have to rewatch.
That's right. But yeah, you'll go there. You'll go a few other places. You'll come back to the Sulaco. You'll go to Phobos, which is the moon that's around there, around the Hadley's Hope planet. You go to lots of places. I don't actually remember the specific number because you revisit a few times. You'll leave the Sulaco for one reason or another. Don't want to hint too much, and then you'll come back and explore some more. So it's pretty neat. And every time you leave an environment and come back, obviously something dramatic and catastrophic has happened, and something evil is afoot.
Now he's been taking care of the sentry robots pretty handily here, but like the real enemy in Aliens is the alien, the xenomorph, and those encounters are always just really fraught and really terrifying. What are you guys doing in terms of like challenge level, in terms of creating that kind of tension, for the players? Well,
you're kind of watching part of that build up right now. You expect to jump in, and it's kind of like modern games want to give you that cookie right up front, but we build it, and actually when you run into the first one, it says, oh no, I'm about to have to fight this thing, and then oh God, and then from then on, it's no matter how long you're playing, even a couple hours into it, you'll see one and still pause, maybe back up, because it's always a fight. You shouldn't, the aliens aren't pushovers, that's why they're so scary.
Yeah, because they are just really tough and nasty.
Yes.
And so if I'm up close and I'm like, am I going to get splattered? Are you going to get some acid effects?
There's going to be some acid. There's going to be some pouncing.
Ooh, no, I don't want that.
You can get pounced,
no, I don't
frankly.
like that. Oh,
yeah.
Fine.
You can get a tiny mouth through the back of your skull. I'm not going to lie. Just right through.
Fine. I appreciate your honesty as much as it terrifies me. Now, so we just sort of popped back into the home base there. Is that like that's sort of like a hub?
So that acts as where you can change Marines, you can reload your weapons, you can, and that's mainly used as your save point. So if you die or just, I'm done for now, I'm too scared.
Oh God, there we go.
There we go. That's it.
Oh, you're standing too close to it. That's really just not advisable. Oh gosh.
Oh.
Yeah, that has taken a lot more bullets than the Sentry.
Yes. There we go. Whew. So that was one. There's more.
And you encounter them not always in a one-on-one basis, I would imagine.
Right, they run in groups. So there's one of the other Marines kind of just hanging out there.
Just hanging out up the ladder from some eggs.
Oh,
and
face huggers. Yeah, she's relaxing.
So is this the situation where you'd be like, hey lady, like, do you want to maybe come to hang out in our Marine hangout place?
Yeah, it's like, hey Amber, what are you doing up here? And she's like,
she's hanging out there.
She's terrible. There's eggs everywhere. Who wouldn't be afraid of eggs? And so yeah, now they're gonna hook up.
Oh, cheeky.
It is. A little cheek now and then.
Oh, but so she's not down though. She's not like, okay, super.
She's like, well, maybe later after you kill more eggs and
God.
Xenos, and he's trapped
maybe
in
later
there.
after you go into that horrible
just roll.
pit full of
Just hate.
Now, did that xenomorph, did it die, or did it, like, scurry off into the vent?
I think that one ran away. They will run away sometimes.
Oh, they do run away, okay.
Yeah, and then you're like,
and then it's still out there.
And that's worse,
Oh,
because,
yay.
you'll get a
Now
motion.
it's angry.
Well, and then on top of that, you'll get your motion tracker eventually, too. So you can pull up your map and just see all these blips moving around, and you're like, well, I can't even do anything.
Oh, man.
Face hugger.
And
So,
is that, like, you can't go past the steam vent, like, that's an obstacle,
Right,
you gotta shut it down or something
Right, they'll send you to go get a wrench and shut down because it's broken, and that'll unlock a new area.
Thanks for demonstrating the rolling into the steam vent. That was
You cannot evade steam.
I wasn't, Matt, he's been honest with me so far, but I wasn't sure. Appreciate you putting that one to the test.
Maybe he's lying this one time about the steam.
All right, man. So Aliens Infestation, I mean, obviously, talking up a lot about how there's a lot of stuff in it for the fans, and you yourself clearly a fan of the franchise. What's something that just like really tickles your fancy? Something about this project that's like a little special tidbit that resonates with you that you want to share with folks.
Well, I think the Aliens franchise. It harkens back to an older kind of movie. It's like a more thoughtful sci-fi movie. It's a little slower. The payoffs are bigger, but they're fewer and far between. Yep. And this game has that all over. Like you saw there, it takes forever, but then when the payoff comes, it's so much bigger. And there's all these little payoffs like the APC, what we call the APC planet, but it's when you're driving it. And it's like one of those old school arcade shooters where there's Xenos jumping out and they're diving everywhere and you gotta shoot them on the run. And for me as a fan and a gamer, getting to go in the derelict and seeing the big thing, oh my God, there's that, oh God, he's in here. We get to see what he looks like, and it's so cool. It's fun all around, and it's great to work on. The team at WayForward obviously love Aliens, have put a lot of love in the game, and the fact that it's coming out now and people can play it, just, I don't know, clearly I'm excited about it.
That's very true. Now, one more question before we go, well, two more. The first one is, man down. We just saw...
He's dead.
He got overwhelmed, but then you can pick a Marine to sub in. Then?
Right. So that's the idea. Is you have your squad set up, and as a Marine gets killed or captured, he can be replaced on the team. Now, sometimes if they're captured, there's a few areas you'll discover around the map that's all from worker barf. And they'll be all cocooned up there, and you can free them.
Oh, okay.
And
so
they'll
you can get them
rejoin
back
the
on your squad. But
right.
in this case,
he's been quad.
So sorry, Cameron. You will not be making it.
Oh, Cameron.
Alas.
So young.
What? He wasn't that young. He's a grizzled old veteran. But that's the thing you say.
Young at heart.
Yeah. He was 2 weeks away from retirement.
He was Danny Glover.
Tragic.
Just tragic.
All right, so Aliens Infestation for the Nintendo DS. When can folks get their hands on it?
October 11th.
October 11th? That's not that far away.
Around the corner.
That is pretty close. Matt, thank you so much for bringing it
Thanks
by
for
and showing
me.
it off. Really appreciate it. Aliens, great thing to show off here at Comic-Con. I mean,
oh yeah, of all places,
must have been fun.
right?
And you guys are showing it at the arcade thing.
We are. We've got it all week. You can come get your hands on it, play as long as you want.
There you go. If you're here at Comic-Con, Sega Arcade is on 6th Street.
Yeah,
just right around,
6th
just
Street.
right up the street from the con, and go get your hands on Aliens Infestation and a whole lot of other stuff. And now we are going to head back out with Homer Ibarra onto the show floor. I mean, his adventures continue, and sometimes I don't even know what's up next for that dude because there is just so many possibilities out there on the show floor of what he could get into. Let's take a look at where he's at now.